What is good, trade bros? Coming at you from the Bitcoin chart, as always, on the daily chart. As you can see, we retested the peak of about 38,000 before coming back down, and now we're consolidating here, hopefully building out some levels here, as you can see on the chart. We're looking forward to some more upwards price action, hopefully. But we're again staying aware that a correction could come and would be healthy. So we're staying very, very safe, very, very cautious right now. I hope you guys are doing the same. Before we get into this news, I just want to remind everybody that none of this is financial advice, and every investing decision you make is on your own, and no content produced should ever be taken as investment advice. Alright, moving on, let's get right into the news. Bitcoin outpaces Ethereum for a transaction for the first time in 3 months. Bitcoin transactions standing at 11 million, while ETH transactions stand at 8 million, representing a 1,000% increase for the monthly hike for Bitcoin in transaction fees, and a 1,000% monthly increase for Bitcoin, and a 700% yearly increase for Bitcoin. So we're seeing a lot of transactions happening on Bitcoin. It's always what we like to see. A lot of money going back to the miners, as they've been complaining recently that 2023 was one of the most unprofitable years for them, especially heading towards a halving. That's bullish for Bitcoin. As you can see, the most bullish thing is the actual utilization of Bitcoin. So if fees are getting charged, people are using Bitcoin, whether they're sending it, whether they're storing it. We're looking good. The amount of whale wallets holding more than 1,000 Bitcoin hits an all-time high at 7.6 million Bitcoin. And wallets that have held Bitcoin for a year have hit an all-time high. This is very bullish, as it both demonstrates a bullish sentiment with people holding Bitcoin. Holding over a year is obviously somebody that is holding Bitcoin for the long term and is expecting a price increase, so the general market is bullish. And this also represents a low exchange supply, as most of this Bitcoin is in, I would hope, is in cold wallets or hot wallets, but is off exchanges. So we're looking at low exchange supply, record high transactions, and whales hoarding more Bitcoin. So nothing but good. Deribit has also reported that there are options bets on Bitcoin hitting 40 to 45,000 by the end of December. So this will be key levels to be looking at and be aware of, as traders will be very active at this level. If traders are putting in these bets right now, this means that when they hit those levels, expect a very sharp correction, as you see on the chart here. We hit this level and came right back down, as traders likely took profit from trades. BitGo CEO expressed cautious optimism as the SEC scrutinizes the exchanges and custody framework, as a fully compliant exchange doesn't exist. But I will remind you that Gary Gensler has failed to actually make a regulatory framework. So it is literally impossible to have a completely compliant exchange when you do not give people a way to become compliant. Kevin O'Shilley made comments, but nobody cares what Mr. FTX says, and I recommend that he stick to making kids' toys and investing in terrible companies on Shark Tank. Continuing in ETF news, the SEC has reportedly been in talks with crypto exchanges over the 19B-4s, showing forward progress, and has recommended that ETF filers use cash creates instead of in-kind transactions, which, if you don't know, means that the authorized participants will deposit cash to create new shares, as opposed to the holdings of the ETF upon redemption. This kind of makes sense, as broker-dealers cannot transact in Bitcoin, and puts a responsibility on the issuer, the ETF issuer, to transact in Bitcoin. In non-Bitcoin news, Fidelity joins BlackRock, making all sorts of mistakes here. Fidelity joins BlackRock in spot ETF filings, but ETH price drops with FUD surrounding it. ETH has a lot of FUD surrounding it. We're not seeing. A lot of people I know are hoping to see the same sort of price action that we saw with Bitcoin, with Ethereum. We're not seeing that with Ethereum right now. There's a bunch of FUD surrounding Bitcoin with somebody that says that he has evidence of fraud in the early days of Ethereum. So people are very cautious of Ethereum, especially with the SEC's treatment of proof of stake cryptocurrencies. So we can play this one of two ways. We can just be cautious and avoid it, or we can look at history and see what Bitcoin or Ethereum is and how it's been treated. If the price gets artificially beat down and the crypto hasn't changed fundamentally, still getting sponsorships or partnerships, still growing, then we need to keep an eye that when this FUD turns around and the spot ETF filing become a little bit more concrete, that we could see a price correction in Ethereum. So we're keeping an eye on that. Like I said, looking at Bitcoin, we're consolidating out at these levels after retesting the high. So hopefully we continue to go up from here. If not, like I said, we have to be very, very cautious at this time, as the 12-day, the window for, I think it was a 12-day window, the window for the SEC to approve most of the spot Bitcoin ETFs has passed. We thought we would see a big dip after that. As this goes on and the flames kind of go down from this brand new news of the Bitcoin spot ETF news, we could see a drop in price as investors relax and possibly take profits going forward, as the news won't be as new and exciting, and there won't be as much FOMO, because we do have, if we go with the general market sentiment that the ETF will be approved by or around January 10th, that still gives us about a month and a half, almost 2 months till that time. So a lot of time in between. So we could see some different price action going forward. As always, this has been your Trade Bro. I hope you guys are staying safe in the market, staying aware. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Stay safe out there, and see you in the next one.